Good evening, everyone. If I could choose any person in this room that I'd rather not follow, it would be Mayor Eric Adams. It happens every time. I've asked a number of times to put someone less charismatic between us, and it's very hard. So wish me luck. I'm very, very excited to be here, and I'm very honored that in my first year as Consul General, the AJC holds this global forum here in New York City, giving me the opportunity to address you all. I just came from New Jersey, where I greeted about 40 18-year-old Americans that chose to make Aliyah this year to Israel. And they deserve it. They deserve it. A few months after the beginning of my posting, I called my predecessors, and I told them that I inherited a much harder New York and America in regards to the relationship between the United States and Israel, and regarding the relationship between Israelis and American Jewry. I grew up in Florida in the 80s, and I remember Israel was a consensus. I also remember virtually all Jews felt Israel was equally theirs. I was saddened to encounter the reality of today. I was shocked to see the number of anti-Semitic incidents in this city and state. They've quadrupled in the last year. And growing up, I remember anti-Semitism from the far, far fringe right as something we lived with, and everyone called it for what it was. But there's a new form, and it doesn't exist only in the right, it exists in the left as well. And it's normalized, and it's much smarter, and it's much harder to advocate against. But I meet these 18-year-old children, young adults, that go to college on campuses, that wear Stars of David or a yarmulke, that have family in Israel, and that are being told today for the first time that if they believe in the eternal right of the Jewish people to set their home in Israel, they're racist. That's what they're told. They're told if they want to be part of a group that advocates for certain values, they have to leave parts of their Jewish identity at the door. All of their Israeli connection at the door. And if this younger generation is to be the next generation or the future of the backbone of the relationship between Israel and the United States, the future activists and lobbyists and philanthropists and organizers, this group doesn't grow up with a strong sense of belief in the core values and the shared interest that American Jewry and Israelis have, and that the United States and that Israel have, we are going to be in a big problem. Now, coming from Israel, we don't understand America that well. We don't understand American Jewry that well, and we don't have such a thing as organized Jewish life. Our organized Jewish life is the state. We organize, our Ministry of Foreign Affairs is a ministry. It's not AJC. So we don't have organizations built to the extent that you do, and it amazes me what fine, amazing, important, contributing work these organizations do. And I wish, and this maybe will be my future role, I wish everyone in Israel understood the importance of the contribution American Jewry has to the stability of Israel. And I wish all Jews in the future will feel that Israel is equally theirs, and that they'll share the same belief of the importance of its existence. And I know that all the people in this room dedicate a very, very large part of their lives to make that happen. So it's an honor for me to be here to say thank you in the name of Israel to all of you. Especially I want to thank David Harris. After 32 years of service and a role model for all of us, I want to thank Harriet Schleifer, that has led this organization for the last few years. I want to congratulate Tej Deutsch and wish him luck. You're going to need it. You have a lot of work. It's not becoming easier at all. At all. And it makes me very happy that I stood behind here and listened to Governor Hochul's speech and to hear her address her commitment to the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism and to the understanding that we cannot allow as Jewish people this separation between saying Zionism is racism, but that's not anti-Semitic. If we allow that to be normalized, we're going to be in a big problem. We're going to be in trouble. And she is a good friend in helping us do that. And Mayor Eric Adams is a very good friend to the state of Israel. And we have a lot of good friends here. And we have a lot of supporters, both in the Jewish community and outside. But we still need to make that circle of partners larger. And you do tremendous work in that, not just here, but all over the world. In the advancement of the Abraham Accords, on the Russian-Ukrainian border, and any place in the world where the face of the Jews needs to be represented, you all represent us in a beautiful way. So thank you very, very much. It's a great, great honor to be here, and good luck.